uh, December zoning board of appeals meeting, town in Canandaigua. We'll start our meeting with a pledge of the flag and then a moment of silence for
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. First, just to review the procedures that we follow for zoning for the variance request. First, the applicant will present the request for the variance or variances, reasons why they are necessary. The board then questions the applicant. After board and applicants are comfortable with the information presented, the floor is then open to the audience in the meeting and on Zoom. Each person must limit comments to 5 minutes or less. Questions are directed to the board and not to the applicant. When the applicant and board are comfortable that all necessary information has been presented, the public hearing will be closed. It can be carried over to the next meeting if further information is needed. The zoning board has 62 days to consider and vote on the application. It is usually done the same night. So, okay, we start out with two hearings that have been carried over from previous meeting. First is 3498 Sandy Beach Drive. Request for a building coverage variance of 4.3%, when 25% is maximum and 29.3% is proposed for a shed tear down. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. So my name is Arik Mariwala, 3498. The board requested a new diagram plan, 4 feet from the wall, and I drew that up. And I've also sent a couple other diagrams to Mr. Warner about the shed itself. I don't know if they made it to the. Do you have the? There you go. I made a hard copy just in case. So that's the actual plan drawn on by the manufacturer. And I'll just pass this on and then you can just see the hard copies of the actual shed. So what the board had asked, I believe you addressed that, the new plan and diagram, and I can address the neighbor question, which is the next thing when you're ready for.
The shed is shifted back away from the lake, as you said.
Yeah, see, I actually, this is the actual survey map from when we moved here. So I actually took that and I figured it out. Got a new iPad. I do sort of play with it, you know, with a pencil and all. So anyways, this is the wall. I actually drew about 5 feet just to see how far it would come up. But it's 6 by 9 actual dimension. What you see is the actual dimension.
Okay.
I took the the measurement which are already from the survey, and then figured out what would be equivalent of that. I know I'm sort of going too deep here too much. So that's what the shed would look like. It actually was 4 feet, would come down slightly by about a foot down here.
So you made the shed instead of 8 by 10 is now 6 by 9.
You had asked for 6 by 9.
Okay.
You wanted 6 by 10. You and the board thought that was too big. We are okay with 6 by 9, at least compared to what we showed you last time. It was so little and all. I think I don't wanna go into that, and you have the diagram.
Got the additional height.
Yeah, this one's, yeah, for even guys in my size, so.
Now, the area between the shed and the lakefront, that's pavers?
This is, yes, these are actual, this is actual patio.
Yeah.
With the pavers, yes, sir. Yeah.
Did we talk about the height last time?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Well,
He doesn't need a variance for height.
No, I know.
what did you say, Mr.?
I was asking about the height.
Height of the,
Yeah.
it's 8 foot. I, the diagram I just passed out.
Yeah.
You would see the actual from the drawn by the heritage
Good.
structures, they make these sheds.
You had contacted your neighbor, I see.
So I finally got hold of our neighbor. The person who owns the property is Joan Kennedy. And I had a difficult time getting hold of them because I don't want to get too deep into all this, but it's an HOA directory for all the neighbors. Only number they have is a landline. So if you call them, these folks are, I don't know, they're privacy freaks or whatever,
Yeah.
So anyway, I called them 2-3 days later, they called me back. And I talked to the gentleman, I don't know who he is, he lives there or he's her husband. And he was actually asking me, why do they have to move it from where it is? And then just go 9 feet to the east of that. And I said, these are all nuances I really don't understand. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to explain it to you. So here's, if you want to really know, I'll give you a phone number of Mr. Warner, which I did. And I said, welcome to call him and find out all these, about waterways and all these things I don't understand. So I don't know if he called or not. Well, did he call you, sir? Okay. Was he satisfied?
He was, I explained everything you said.
Okay, so anyway, long story short, so they still didn't get back to me, and then I had to call again because I said I can send you the plan so you can actually visualize where it is, just like what I've done here. But there was no way to send it because they won't give me their cell number or email because they are not even their HR director. So anyway, finally, after a couple of 3 calls, Joan called me one day in the evening, and I said I just gave her a very brief intro to what's happened. I said I have a meeting on the 16th, and I would really appreciate some kind of input. Even if you are concerned, let me know what's going on. She said, no, it's okay. Just send me the plan and ask the board. Since you're going to be there, ask the board. Instead of 4 feet, can we make it 2 feet? I said, I don't think they will do that, but at least I'll ask. Okay, I said, they're going through this whole thing process. So I was waiting again for the letter, and nothing came. So I called again, and then she sent me a text message. As you see there, this is the actual. If you would like, I can obviously read it, but
Right now.
I don't feel I should be deciding factor in the lakeside placement of your shed. I'm not for or against it. Whatever the zoning board decides, I will accept. I'm willing to write a letter saying this.
Okay.
So this is the, I have it on my phone. I don't know if you want to see it or,
No, we're good.
but this is the actual quote from it. So that was quite satisfactory to me. He said, okay, I'll turn it to the zoning board and let's go abide by whatever decision the board makes. So I told her I'll get it back to him after the meeting.
Was this, I recall from last month, what's under the shed now? Is it ground or pavers?
No, it sits on some kind of
Pallet?
a
Wood
pallet.
pallet.
Yeah, that's what you call it.
And is the wood pallet on pavers or?
No, it looks like a wood pallet. I honestly, it's been there God knows how long now.
Mike,
But it's
This,
it's
no,
like
he's talking about this whole section.
can you tell, sir?
He's telling about that section right there. This is all pavers, isn't it?
Yes, these are pavers.
Right.
under the shed is.
Yeah, and
The
then,
shed sitting on.
no, I think you were asking under the shed.
Yes.
Yeah,
Under.
it's a pallet, some kind of a pallet.
But what is the pallet on?
Is a pallet on pavers too? Is it?
Yeah, it sits right on the, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sits right on.
That's why there's no change in one.
Right, okay. I just remember we
I
discussed.
think
that one.
If I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Fine.
If the board grants us the permission, we will literally move that whole thing out, including and build a whole new one per the requirement of the planning board or the zoning board, exactly what they want under it, for the water to flow out and all that stuff. I built a similar shed long time ago when we lived on the west side, and they had a similar concern about where it sits. So we are cognizant of that, somewhat.
I guess the only thing that might come up under the planning board is whether they would ask you to do anything different with the area. 4 feet or 5 feet, that's gonna be there. I don't know whether it'd be better to have that. Like a garden or whatever, but that's up to the planning board. Anybody else have any other questions? Let's see, well, Chuck is the only one on, I guess. Anybody in the audience have any questions or concerns? You satisfied with what you've presented and be okay for us to close the hearing, public hearing? Okay. We'll close the public hearing then, and we have 62 days to make a decision, but I suspect we'll get there tonight. So,
Okay.
you're welcome to stay for our deliberations, or you can contact Mike tomorrow.
Do you have any additional concerns you can address right now, or
No, I think we're all good.
you're all satisfied with all the questions
Yes.
you can ask?
Good.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks. Okay, let's see, next one. 5929 Goodale Road. Development of the accessory building with connections to septic and which exceeds 3,000 square feet in area. Variance needed to provide relief from accessory building shall not be used as a habitable space. Variance needed to provide relief from total combined building footprint for all detached building structures not exceeding 1,300 square feet plus 1,000, or 1% of the subject lot area.
Correct. We'll just do a brief overview on the project. What it is a proposed pool barn. There's a pool that will be in the building along with a small workout area and a bathroom. The reason for the variance is for the size of the building and the habitable space and accessory dwelling. Since the meeting, we did have some more conversations with the watershed, Tyler. The only thing that's gonna change if the variance is granted is we will be utilizing the 2 septic holding tanks off to the east of the building. He did inspect those and gave us a go ahead to use those if we get the variance. Now, in the end, the building and the variance is really, this building is for quality of life for their son. He's in a wheelchair and it is part of his rehabilitation process. I mean, that's bottom line. It's not gonna be used for a house. It's not gonna be used for anything other than what we're proposing. I mean, could they have gone a different route and designed it as an ADU and circumvented variance? They could have. But it would have been more of an expensive project with all the different requirements for building residential code. This is a little bit differently because it's not considered residential code. It's an accessory building and it's gonna be used as we are explaining it today. So if there's any other questions I can answer.
How many feet are you over?
I don't know exactly what it is. Mike, do you know what exactly we're over? 200. And this has been sized to take into account area around a pool for safety and wheelchair access, so we can't make it smaller. It has been, they're on a budget and this is where they are at. they'd have to redo a couple things in the building to change things around. It's right at the size it needs to be to have a nice sizable area for him to be able to move around in the bathroom and the gym and get around the pool safely.
How big is the pool?
20 by 40. We've got like a lift and things that'll be involved in it.
Anybody have any questions?
No, so,
Pardon
no, well, why did we, what were we looking for? Oh, that's
Well,
right.
you
we
had to
work
leave.
on
I had to
it.
leave.
That's right, and plus you've had discussion, you said. something.
Yeah, the only thing that changed was instead of using a force main system to get to the septic field, we're gonna use an existing holding tank that has been approved, and we're working on getting a couple little things ironed out with Tyler, but he was the one that suggested we use that because he has inspected them and they do have capacity. Like I said, it's not an increase in capacity of the system because he's either gonna be using it there, or he's gonna be using a bathroom upstairs or somewhere on the site, so it's pretty much the capacity stays the same.
Well, no,
For
how
things.
can one person
Yes,
probably, or a couple people.
But it's still, it's whoever's using the bathroom, they're either gonna use it at the house or use it there, depending on where they at with their activities.
No.
Do you have anything else you want to present?
No, that's it.
Anyone in the audience have any questions or concern? Comfortable with us closing the public hearing?
Yeah.
Everybody's all right with that? We'll close the public hearing. We have 62 days to make a decision. I can just do it tonight. Okay. Next one is 3467 County Road 16. Development of a new single-family dwelling on an undeveloped parcel in RLD district. Stream setback variance of 38.7 feet is needed, where 61.3 feet is proposed and 100 is required.
This is the one that Mr. Hackett, the landscape architect, presented, so I know there was a couple questions, so I can just answer anything that the board might have. I know that he went through it, he was comfortable with closing it, but the board decided to open back up the public hearing and
Right.
readdress some issues, so.
Right.
I think, actually, Mike, you like to,
If you want, I can speak now, or I can.
Yeah, go ahead, I mean,
That would be, yeah.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah. Alright. So not sure if everyone knows me here. I'm Mike Murphy. I head up the code enforcement office for the town of Canandaigua. I'm also the appointed floodplain administrator and insert 15 other titles here. Alright. Not sure if this board is truly aware. My office reviews every single variance application that has any ecological impacts associated with it. Since I took over the entire office, my office has routinely every single time issued recommendations for denials on applications such as this. Reason being is stream setbacks, we'll kind of go there. They have a great impact on the nutrient load provided as to what discharges into the stream. Okay. What runs through here is a Class C stream as designated by New York State DEC. What Class C means is that DEC has acknowledged that that stream, which this one's 94.7 miles long, supports fisheries, habitats, as well as they call it wading and aquatic exercising and items like that. Basically, it helps with water recreation. Okay. This stream has also been identified as being nutrient stressed. All right, so what that means is there's an excess of dissolved oxygen as well as phosphorus within the stream, causing DEC to look at it more regularly and possibly look at in the future doing what's called a TDML over this whole area, which has a lot of regulatory impacts. How we go through and stop that from happening.
what's TDML?
TDML is total daily maximum load, which is the total daily maximum load of nutrients that can be discharge into that stream. That would require the town to do regular monitoring, other items that are commonly associated, such as phosphorus testing, nitrogen testing, etc. Thankfully, the town of Canandaigua doesn't have any water bodies that are currently like this, and we'd like to keep it that way. The importance of a stream setback, the reason why the town code says 100 feet is on average, you can get between a 40% and an 80% reduction in nutrient loading discharge into that stream by keeping these vegetative buffers, or what we call riparian corridors. Okay, so in a project like this, you have to ask yourself, are there other areas where this structure can be relocated as to align with the zoning code and maintain that stream setback? The other thing that I'd like to bring to the board's attention is, if you noticed, I also mentioned that I'm the floodplain administrator for the town. Floodplain administration has two roles. One, we protect life and property by making sure all of our structures can withstand a flood event. The other one is we actually protect the characteristics and aquatic life of our floodplains. Floodplains are living things. They're not just lines someone drew on a map. They exist even when they're not mapped. The way this structure sits, it is going to be within the identified significant flood hazard area, which makes that stream setback even more important. This structure inevitably will be designed to be flood safe, as we call it, or flood resilient, but it still will have an impact overall on the potential base flood elevation of that floodplain. What that means is you put a structure into it. If you raise that structure up without flood vents to allow floodwaters to come in, you're now displacing the floodwaters that would normally go there. Okay. Now, a project of this size, we may be talking hundreds, thousands of an inch. But the more that we issue these variances for lot coverage, building coverage, stream setbacks, they all have a large, basically, impact when you take them all into consideration. So with that being said, again, I just wanted to bring to this board's attention. We'll talk later about some other things that I'd like to bring to your attention, but for this project specifically, just wanted to mention that my office has issued a recommendation of denial, as well as ECB, for the same reasons. Any questions for me?
Is the floodplain outlined there or not?
No, we didn't put it on there.
Not on this
We
one,
can-
nope. It's one of my comments for when they get to site plan.
There's something about in terms of alternate locations. Dan
Yeah.
had said that there was stormwater infrastructure somewhere else on the property,
Right.
and I think you're.
Do you wanna speak to that?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll give you
I will. I
Yeah,
can
we had
speak
brought
to-
that up at the last.
There is, I mean, there's proposed stormwater infrastructure that is, we are proposing on the south side of
Well, the
proposed
architect
building.
said that, or yeah, where.
There is stormwater, I don't know, can you zoom out a little bit?
I thought that he
The
said there was.
stormwater that is for the, when we did the house, there's
Right.
stormwater that was mentioned about, that is located in that location on the south side of the driveway, so.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
thought they were
the-
actually.
I mean, moving
on
it south
the
would
parcel.
make us,
Didn't he say there?
adjust where it is.
So you said there was some up further. near-
I thought,
near-
yeah, we
It
were
was-
led to believe it was. up-
There's no existing stormwater management system within the limits of disturbance that we are proposing.
You would
As of
ask, why can't you just move it to the other side of
Right.
the driveway? And he said.
But we can't put it on the other side of the driveway, on the south side,
No.
there is stormwater
We
management.
actually said, why can't we move it out away from the
30 feet.
stream? Yeah, more towards the middle area, or, you know, so that you're not obstructing, and he said that there were drainage there, right, or something. So-
Essentially moving it to where this, I mean, ballpark where the.
Because we
septic
did
system is.
ask,
Well, that's not a septic, that's an infiltration.
Something.
We're not on septic, we're
No,
on
it's infiltration.
That's
Maybe
infiltration,
that's-
just redesigning is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
that's-
proposed
that's-
system, not an
that's
existing
not.
system.
yeah, clearly, yes, okay,
I mean, it's based on, you know, if we did alter the location was based on, trying to tuck that building up and out of the way of traffic and in the view shed of looking out toward the water, instead of, you know, taking it and, you know, putting it, you know, smack down in the middle here and, you know, kind of cutting off that corridor there when people are driving past. Tucking it away, that was really where we wanted to put it, and keeping it at a safe distance, or not a close distance to the house. So they can't be using it and walk across there and not have to drive to it. More use it as an everyday structure where they can move back and forth between it. That was where the location was.
So it only have to come 30 feet.
No, I understand.
And as far as the view shed, looking at that several times as I go by, I mean, the big house basically blocks the lake.
Correct, but we didn't want to put something up at the road 60 feet off the right.
Yeah.
So the reality is many times there's just no option to be able to eliminate the variance, but there is in this case.
No, I understand it. We did have, we were part of the variance for the two houses to the east with Vasilius and Reinhardt's main house. And we did get the variance for the stream. We're actually significantly closer. We're 15 feet on Reinhardt and 20 some odd feet for Vasilius, and those were both granted.
It just seems to me it could come, where that line is drawn from the stream, it could come 30 feet, maybe more. And a direct line of that, and I'd totally block off everything else.
I mean, we could take a look at it. Decline it.
Is that feasible, Anthony? Can you move this?
I mean, is it feasible? There is space to do it, but as far as usage and location, I don't have the authority to just say I'm gonna move it 30 feet south. and
No, I mean,
ignore it.
No.
Technically feasible, but
Well,
Move
he's
that
he's
30
got
feet.
enough space. We can also. It's a fair assumption.
Anyone have any other questions? So any questions from anyone in the audience? Are you satisfied with? what
Yeah.
you presented?
Mhm.
Go ahead and
You can close
close
it.
the public hearing and it's
Thank you.
2 days. Welcome to say. The next two on the agenda have been, one for 3975 County Road 16. They asked to put off until, January. The one for 4746 County Road 16, illness involved, and that's been asked to be put off to January as well.
I'm actually gonna be away in January, but
Pardon me?
I'm gonna be away in January.
Maybe where you can zoom in.
It should be. soon.
Okay. We'll put this in liquid break here. All right, the public hearings are closed. Anyone want to discuss these? Why don't we go directly to that rather than the other board business?
Yeah, might as well, right?
We've got people here.
Okay.
Are you all here for the ones we've already presented, or are you?
We're here to observe. My name's Don Cotter. I'm the new town supervisor elect.
Oh, okay.
And these are all
All right.
town councilmen.
Okay.
elect.
Okay.
Nice to meet you all.
Okay, good to meet you all. Yeah.
I'm sure you probably can't.
I'm good, how are you? I was gonna stand up
Be
eventually.
on our good behavior. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I start now.
Okay.
I'm old enough.
Okay, 3498 Sandy Beach.
Sounds like adjustments were made as asked.
Sorry?
Sounds like adjustments were made when asked. So,
Yeah, he decreased the size.
Yeah.
Because of it all being paved back there, we're not increasing the lot coverage.
It's
I
not really
think-
permanent.
I think the concern was for the view from the neighbors, and
Right.
we didn't really get any impact on that
I
apparently.
would think almost it would be less for the neighbors because it's moving it back so they have more.
Maybe they see
look up
better
for lake,
through
I
there.
would think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want it closer to the lake, so.
Right. Again, I don't know, maybe the planning board would have something to recommend about that little corner. Might be a little planted area or something that would give you dirt, which would decrease a lot, but.
Are
Lot coverage
we-
is
I'm
not-
good.
Lot coverage is not an issue.
I think in that case, you'd add a condition, the planning board shall determine the best usage of the area between the structure and the lake.
Right.
So that's.
I don't think it's going to.
Pardon?
I don't think it's going to the planning board.
Oh,
Cause it's just one of those sheds that they throw up, right? And it's not,
Pre-built, you know.
right. It's not gonna be permanent, you know.
Yeah, I don't know whether ECB could weigh in again, knowing we have, you know, we're having it move. We
Maybe.
can suggest that, I guess.
There might be, not check with them.
Yeah.
Or make a decision.
Some sort of surface that,
He did say he would change
I don't
some
think he
impervious.
cares once a.
Yeah, he actually even said he would change what thing he needed to do to reduce.
It's not that big a shed. I
Any
can't see how
impact.
it
No, I don't
affects
either.
Well,
any
it's
of,
just
you know,
pavers.
anything other than,
Well,
it's just my opinion.
There's an existing shed there now.
right.
Right, and we're actually moving it, and it's pre-existing. If we
Everybody
voted
ready
it
to
in.
call the question?
Oh, sure, but shall the building coverage variance request of 4.3% be granted? Shannon,
Yes,
Jason,
yes.
Dave,
Yes,
Kelly,
Yes,
Chip,
Yes. As presented, at the last meeting and tonight, with the, documents presented. The benefit to the applicant outweighs the detriment to the neighborhood. And the applicant has worked with us to decrease the original variance request and also has agreed to move the shed back from the lake,
yeah, he reduced the height,
of the
he
shed.
reduced the size.
yeah, the height, so.
But he reduced the footprint.
Footprint, yeah, that's all we're looking at anyway. There was no objection from the neighbor. I think the variance is not a substantial one. Several percent,
Especially in that neighborhood.
and that will not go against the character of the neighborhood. by
Yeah.
any means. Anything else anybody want to? Okay, the next one, 5929 Goodale Road.
I hate these.
I know, I do too.
I said I hate these.
Stream setbacks.
This is not a
No,
stream
no,
septic.
this is-
This is the septic. I like being consistent. There's no reason that the property requires you to have an auxiliary building connected to septic.
we've done it before for the ADA issues that
Yeah.
they face. It's, I think that the applicant made the case, the reality is it's no more, effluent than it's gonna go someplace. It isn't a holding tank. It's not an enhanced leach field or anything like that, but I don't disagree with Shannon on this.
I know.
This is like the generators next to the house. I wish they would investigate this from a code standpoint, but
Me too.
it is what it is.
Yeah, the only thing, and I mentioned it last time, was whether you had to be a 20 by 40 foot pool, if it's a therapy pool.
Yeah, because John Casey and everyone who came and we had him reduce it, because that was bigger.
Yeah.
The 20 by 40 was. That's what we keep on. Yeah, the size is also pretty big. It's bigger than the therapy pool.
What was the size of the lot again? This was a big.
It's
It's a big lot.
Well, and the ag, yeah, I don't know if you saw the ag comments, they said, there's no displacement of agricultural land, or, they didn't have any issues. So,
Yeah, it's a huge.
yeah,
So we're not talking about any view issues, we're not talking about obstruction for any neighborhood, that's.
Yeah,
And it's not really visible from
it's much
Road.
different. Yeah, much
or anybody
different.
else's property.
It's not also on the lake where John Casey was, it is right on the lake too. All right, well, I'm good with
Call the question?
Sure.
calling it my.
Shall the
personal-
requested variances be granted? Shannon,
No,
Jason,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes,
Chip.
Okay, based on what was presented last week and tonight. the Information we're given, the benefit to the applicant outweighs the detriment to the neighborhood.
parcel is unique itself.
It's a unique parcel with uniquely large parcel, and this is a small. Is a small, not substantial variance as far as the lot, the size of the building goes.
Won't that the neighborhood
or Yeah.
environmental condition.
They're not visible from the road, not, won't affect anybody's view. The connection to the septic. Is necessitated, I guess, by, or is requested by. The need for therapy pool for. Person with ADA issue.
Well, there's such a decided difference between a holding tank and a septic
Right.
system. And that's the reality is, one, you have to think about,
Right.
you know, the effect of. This is a tank.
Right.
and it's been,
And we do have that.
Identified as- it's
The,
got capacity.
that was agreed to by our. By the. Leadership.
Luncheon.
Did you upload any?
No.
We'll have to get a letter from them.
Okay. Our office is ours.
You'll have
This
this,
have site plan? We'll just go to site plan, this building? Well,
They'll still have to pull permits, so we'll provide it.
I'd say as a condition. just
Yeah.
that-
Yeah, we're
We
still
wanna
doing our
make sure
1
we
year
vary
thing
first,
too, right?
In order to be able to go down the route of finishing. We do have.
we can condition it on there being a accepted. Septic tank or system.
Mhm.
That, is appropriately sized, I guess.
And our 1 year goal, right?
Right.
And the 1
Yeah,
year
it
goal.
has to be,
I forget to say.
Started within the year.
That's it.
Forgot to put that on the list.
Yeah,
Like she knows. She's already.
yeah, good
So I
job.
don't even
Is there
measure.
anything else you got?
Yeah, probably not. They always remind me when I run the meeting.
Do it then.
I think that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Okay, next one is 3467 County Road 16.
obviously they can move it,
Yeah, I think they were like 30 feet, 33 feet.
so,
Yeah, agreed. I originally thought it better tucked visually back in there, but looking at it now, if you look down there, all you see is a big house. You know,
yeah. I wasn't sold that they couldn't move it before I wanted, that's why we put it off, so.
Right. But I think it's helpful to have Mike's input here, certainly.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, we wanted to hear what, I think he and somebody else said, but. Right, well, anyways, nothing, yes,
I already said what I.
I know, right, you're good,
Call the question.
Sure. Shall the requested stream setback variance of 38.7 feet be granted? Shannon,
no,
Jason,
No.
Dave,
No,
Kelly,
no,
Chip,
No. Based on data presented last time and tonight, the benefit to the applicant does not outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood. This is an environmentally sensitive area, and there appears to be plenty of room with the shift location of the house.
Self-created.
It is self-created.
There is adequate space.
Yeah.
I know that it's from the church, you heard that.
Right.
To eliminate the variance. This is distinguishable from other variance, stream setback variances. Because it's clear that there's room to move it, no evidence was submitted as to whether or not there was room to eliminate the need for a variance on other nearby property.
Anything else in one? Great.
Thank you.
Shouldn't even know. Have a Merry Christmas.
Any referrals from the town board? Town manager? No ordinance from any referrals? Other business, I guess, I'd like, with Mike here, I would like to just. Not always clear to me where his recommendations are.
Yeah.
When you look on Cloud, I mean, I didn't see.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, if you can go ahead and just open up that last one that was issued. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, keep going.
Really?
You should see them there. Okay.
Oh.
So
That's where I hadn't gone beyond.
so underneath reviews. Okay. If you can't see them, please reach out to me, or Mike or Kristen or Dan, who you will meet in a few moments, and we will change your system to make sure you're able to see those. Okay. Like I said, we review every ecological related variance.
I thought when we got to the bottom of that one above there, the area above.
So we've been missing out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that a Fletcher right above? this?
Yeah, right, I'm
Okay,
looking at it.
Same
So, and then
size.
if you click on the arrow to the left, like, next window, yep,
There we go.
that'll drop down and you'll see,
I'm reading them right now.
yeah,
Okay.
so you'll see them all listed there.
We were kind of on the same track, like when we were trying to ask them about moving it away, and we were getting an answer for there was something in the way to do that. So that's why we were like, let's refer it
A lot
for
of
next month,
already
because we want to get
ECB
information from you.
ECB minutes often contain.
Yeah, well, that's what I was looking at, the ECB minutes.
Okay, well, that's very helpful.
Of
Yeah,
course.
thanks, appreciate it.
Doing this for 20 years.
So we also look at other items that may be code related variances like building setbacks, the generator ones, for example, where they want to put a generator 2 feet from a property line. Well, generators, their exhausts need to be 5 feet from any other operable opening. So now you're limiting neighbors' future development rights. Items like that, we always will go through and either recommend approval or denial. And my staff is very well versed in the sense that we will always give you explanation as to why. Never, and you have my word, and I think Chris would yell at me if I ever did this, just say, don't approve it. Okay. We'll always cite it with references or codes or other technical information. Okay.
I think it's also helpful, we run into the steam or the stream thing every so often, but there's a big difference between Meneth Creek and somebody, as you said, the class of the stream, because people will often make the case that I've lived here for 40 years and never seen a problem.
Yeah.
And
Never seen water is what they.
well,
Right.
but the reality, I mean, Agnes was in 72, and I'll bet you it was a big problem then. And even to have you say the Class C stream makes a difference for.
Yeah. And to kind of better give you guys some more explanation, the setbacks from water courses, right? That's the true term as far as the code. A water course, very broad definition. It's any water body, any water stream, river, creek, or drainage bed that has been identified as a water feature by federal, state, or town. So where do we get those? DEC environmental mapper, Army Corps of Engineers, Federal Fish and Wildlife, and then of course, my favorite document, the town NRI, or Natural Resource Inventory. All right, you'll have actually a map, and I've got PDF versions I'm willing to send all of you, where you can zoom in and you can see if it's a stream, if it's a pond, it'll tell you if it's a farm pond even. Because farm ponds are the one thing that are exempt. Okay. And all of that goes into the nutrient load. Even the streams that are dry, no stream is ever dry. We do get these very frequent high intensity rain events now. Something my office is constantly studying with the watershed. We're seeing streams jump the banks, like this stream has several times over the last several years. Okay.
Would be helpful, I would think, Mike, if we could have the floodplain listed on a map that we're given.
I think there is.
So
Yes and no.
by town code, they are required to not only identify the floodplain, but also to delineate it on any site plans.
Site plan.
That are there.
Necessarily get it.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one. Again, you'll always see in my comments if it is or isn't. And that's one thing that we can look at changing within code. So that I'm sure there's a variance procedure. I'm going to the attorney for some yes or no, that we can have listed on a variance application, whether that impacts any NRIs or is within any NRI zones. That's
Yeah, that
something
would be good.
Any other questions? I do have one quick plug I wanted to give you guys, but what else you got?
Is that the recommendation that we look at a continued education thing?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I'm coming. I gotta catch up on mine, for sure. I got.
So one of the things that my staff, as well as the planning and zoning team, went through and developed was a little brief training. Okay. It's training that I really want to go through and instruct to this board in particular. I've taught it to the ECB, the zoning board, or the planning board, excuse me, and hopefully the future town board during a town board session. What we do is we look at all of the ecological codes and requirements within the town of Canandaigua, whether it's zoning code, policies, procedures, or state, federal mandates that unfortunately we have to follow. So the way I've set this up, we look at everything as far as why we're doing it. So we'll look at all the town's policies, procedures, those federal mandates, federal regulations, state laws. Then we go into how can we go through and handle these? It's a very quick synopsis. I promise you, I will not bore you with code and direct excerpts from code. Chuck sat through the training, and if you have any questions, there's a really good recording on it. But it's a very broad overview. And then the final part is how can each group go through and better protect our ecological resources within the town of Canandaigua at their level. So we did an in-depth scope analysis of each board, staff, all of our external partners like the watersheds, our engineering groups, our legal counsel, to say, hey, what areas can you yourself help the town meet these goals that are within not only our comprehensive plan, but also that NRI, within that stormwater management plan, within all of these other aspects that the town board through several years has adopted to meet these requirements.
That would be good.
In total, it's about an hour and a half. Feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to come on out any night. As long as the new boss, who I'll introduce here shortly, authorizes me to go through and flex my time for that.
Well, and we can get, I think, I forget how we did it in the past, but have that count as training.
Yeah.
I think the town board has to approve that as training.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Thank you.
With that, I'll introduce Dan Del Fiore. Dan's the new director of development for the town of Canada.
All right, thank you, Mike. It's great being here to meet with everybody. Again, I'm gonna encourage you to take that training. I would go to the new town board, and I'm sure that they will credit that as part of your training. But I would go and present that so that that will count towards your training. Some of my history is I come from Clifton Springs. I sit on their zoning board of appeals. So I have a passion for what you guys do here. I came out of Farmington, where I was for 10 years, helping with their planning and zoning department over there. So I have a very deep understanding of what you guys have to do, the requirements and the training. I know the presentation Mike has is excellent. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but what I've gotten back under review of it, it has been really good. So I don't think it would be a waste of anybody's time. And like I said, it would count towards some of the training as we'll get that approved with the town board. Some of the things I'm tasked with, big thing that I came on board with is to review our comprehensive plan here at the town, see where we're at, where we're going, and give a report back to the town board, and then do an update here in a few years of our comprehensive plan. One of the things when I'm doing that is looking at the amount of variances that we've been granted. I will say that I think that we're on the higher side of not just granting, but just you guys reviewing variances. That has come to light already. As Mike mentioned, we're going to do some code updates, and some of the stuff that you're seeing on a regular basis that you're approving. Well, those are things that we're going to as staff take a very serious look at to try to change so that you guys don't have to keep seeing those variances. That's a process. So we'll be working on that over this next year. I would love input from this board of anything that you have concerns about that you would like to see different. We're here to help. Mike is an expert in floodplain, so if you have floodplain questions, by all means, reach out to us. The other thing that I would like to do is, and I need to as well, because I'm not familiar with cloud permit, and Mike will testify to that. I always ask him where to find things. Is just like tonight, is if we're giving you reports in cloud permit and you're not getting them, they're no good. So we need to make sure that you're getting the expert staff review so that they can help you with your decisions. So again, I want to make sure that you know we're all resourced here, and we're willing to help you in any ways that we can. Some of our staff responsibilities are switching up a little bit with me coming on. So some more information will come out in the new year on that, on how that all looks. But Mike Warner will still be your primary contact for zoning. That will continue. And I guess, do you guys have any questions for me? I appreciate your time tonight.
I have a question.
Yeah.
One of the real interesting parts of this in the last year has been this form-based code.
Yeah.
I'm sure many people will give you their opinion one way or another. I'm not going to give you mine, but it isn't real positive.
I'm sure he has no idea.
And I don't know what the new town board is going to think about it. I think that. Good luck.
So no, I can comment a little bit about it. I'm trying to get up to speed on it as well. It's under review right now to try to make it better. Our attorney is actively looking that over, and it will be going to the town board for setting a public hearing. Hopefully
December 22nd or whatever that's next Monday.
Next Monday.
Your ordinance committee and
22nd.
citizens and staff have put a lot of effort in reviewing things with the form-based code. They've made a lot of revisions. Ontario County Planning Board, your ECB, have provided comments. Mike Murphy put together a great draft of the revisions that the ordinance committee wanted to see. And it will be on the town board, I believe it will be on the town board's next agenda to set a public hearing to be held at the end of January for the town board to consider adopting the revisions that will, by and large, make it not your concern. Will eliminate the variances, the transparency, the zero setbacks.
Yeah.
Those are all going away. The stuff that didn't.
Not, some of them may not be going away, some of them will be lightened significantly.
Yes, lightened to a point where I don't think you'll be seeing it on anybody who wants to build in on the Route 332 corridor like you have been.
Gotcha.
I think the ordinance committee and staff did a good job sort of in getting rid of some of the idealistic regulations and making it a little bit more practical.
Gotcha.
So.
You've been heard, Dave.
Yes.
But every time, I know,
I can talk all you want, but a word is another.
no, honestly, every time, you got a form-based code variance, you said this is ridiculous. Why, you know, this is ridiculous, and it took some time, but, staff heard you and took it to the ordinance committee and.
Took a lot of complaining this all the time.
So on that same note, I mean, part of my job is to bring development to town. And form-based code is a big aspect of it. So hopefully with this update, that will make that easier process for developers to move through the process. That's all.
Let's hope.
Yes.
Other questions?
Well, I think, yeah, the problem with form-based code for us was that you have a, you know, 332 there
Pre-existing.
established.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you've got to try and
Change it.
change it. And it's got to be a long process. It's not going to be there.
Right.
Well, you basically make everything a pre-existing non-conforming, and that's where we are with it.
Yeah.
And it's, and we're trying, you know, you're looking for conformity, but everything is out of whack, and it's just hard to, you know, we go through the 5. It doesn't match, but.
Maybe carve it out.
The variances were giveaways, you had to give away. You know,
Yeah,
because
I mean, it
of the
didn't
5
make
tests, I
sense.
mean, legally. They, you know, didn't have an environmental impact, it didn't, it wasn't substantial in this.
But I think from my perspective, for the zoning board, there was a lot of, I mean, we did walk away from the accessory structure in the front yard, that a lot of these things were eliminated. The generator issues, we gave a lot of variances. I mean, it made probably the total count
Hi.
was high because of that, and the same for form-based code.
Right.
What else are you gonna do for people? And that's, so anyway.
And that's our goal, is to really look at these and continue to look at these and see, does code need to be changed? And if it does, go through the process, which is not easy, it takes time. But to hopefully lighten the load here, so that you guys can be truly looking at true variances and not giveaways, as our attorney just mentioned.
And now, as long as I'm known as the big whiner complainer, I
So, give you something.
That wasn't the word I was thinking of.
I have one other thing, and this is not necessarily for me, but I'll just tell you my experience. I mean, everybody has to go through training. All of us have to get this amounts, and newbies even more. But my experience for what training I had to get here, I needed 4 hours, and I thought I had signed up. I answered back the email about the one that was at the I call it the bird cage. It was and I thought it was good for that. I called back, no information on that. I said, fine. Well, there is one that I can do at North Main Street on the water and sewer, this part. And that was a 6-hour course. And so I called, said, and I tried to get this to, no, I talked to Kim, and she suggested it's not, Kristen handles that. So I emailed Kristen, and then I found out that Mike handles that. And then I found out that Mike doesn't handle it, Lindsay handles it. So when I was in Canandaigua, I went to North.
Handles it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Let's
Okay,
make it simple. You email me and I will take care of it.
okay.
Plain and
Better email us all then, because
That's
I
it.
need to get a go.
Right
Yeah.
there.
simple.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean,
Please send us your
Might
email
wanna
address.
email us
Yeah,
all.
absolutely. I will send it out to the
That'd be
board, and we'll have it in the minutes, but. Yeah, one call, one
Okay,
email,
well,
and it will be taken care of.
it's just easier to drive to North Main Street and pay the $15 and do it.
Well, I don't disagree with you
I
sometimes.
saved the town a ton of money there.
It's really 16 to save down 15.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I will personally handle
Okay.
those, and it will be
We gotta
taken
get
care of.
I want to have a chance to chat with you and.
We'll email you the past stuff from,
Yeah, please add me to the email chain.
I will.
Well, that's the other
We
thing
need to
is,
do
I'm
group chat.
top, I see a lot of trainings. I
Yeah,
can make sure it's all sent to you guys for options.
Yeah, you can like request past trainings and if you email the federation.
Federation that we're a member of, you can get.
I'll
Oh, there's a lot of ways to get it. I'm just saying that.
That's how I plan on getting the rest of mine done.
Yeah, you gotta get going.
All
No,
right,
I know, tell me about it.
one last thing I have for you guys, and then I'll stop talking, hopefully. You two are at your end of your term. So I just need to know if you would like to be appointed.
And you don't need to answer that right now.
No, and you don't need to answer that, but I need
have
to let you guys know. So
Well, I've already told you, but it's subject to obviously the discretion of the board.
But we need to know if you're still interested in being reappointed. If you tell me no, then the board has to do something else.
No. And I've already said I'm interested in
Okay.
continuing on the board, subject to the discretion of the board, obviously.
Perfect.
Same,
Same thing?
Yep.
Perfect. You didn't need to give me answers right now, but I appreciate it. So, it's,
You're locked in, man.
And before you, it looks like he's about to leave, it's your new board member, Bobby Ellis, you also have Scott Hall and Don Cotter.
Great.
yeah, I was actually gonna turn it over to them.
So Bobby got bored and was about to leave.
Yeah, you can, you know.
Disappear on me. I was just gonna give you the mic. I know you like the mic.
He already knows.
I actually am gonna turn it over to Don, our new or incoming town
Thanks,
supervisor.
Mike.
So,
It's all yours, sir.
and you can go. Bobby's gotta go, so just briefly, I was gonna introduce myself at the beginning, but everybody's sitting down, so I apologize if I surprised the group, but it's Dan, wherever Dan went. Dan's new and he's absorbing. I'm pre-new, right? Because we officially don't take our roles on until January 1st. But we're trying to sit in as many meetings, be with as many people as possible. Just my background, some of you guys know me. Moved here 25 years ago, 26 years ago with my family, worked for Constellation when I came out here from my previous place of living. Worked for Constellation, worked for Genesee Brewery, opened up my own brewery, Naked Dove Brewing Company on 5 and 20 with a partner. 5 years ago, stepped away from that to open up a coffee roasting business, CGA Coffee Company, and then decided to run for supervisor. So took a month and a day, I think, for it to all get finalized, but I'm now the supervisor elect. So thank you guys, everything that you guys do. Really, really appreciate it. Especially, there's a couple, your role in the assessor's office. I think those are the two probably toughest kind of departments we have.
We make a lot of friends.
Yeah, exactly. Make your friends everywhere. So thank you very much for everything you guys do, and look forward to working with you. So thank you. Any questions for me? Scott, you want to take care of it?
I have the same perspective as Don about the job that you all are doing. So I appreciate that, especially with some of the difficult decisions, I'm sure. My background is I went to RIT for packaging science. So I've worked for almost 20 years in applied engineering. So I love getting into the details of things like this to understand the impact, Mike's talking about riparian zones and whatnot. Before moving back to Canandaigua, I grew up in Monroe County. So before moving back to Monroe County to Canandaigua, I owned an inn in Maine. And as a small business owner, I had to be the president of our local water board. So I have a whole bunch of different experiences. I worked in FDA related manufacturing when I was an engineer. So I worked in regulations and way back when I was in the Navy. So lots of different experiences that I hope to bring to the table in these discussions. So I look forward to working with all of you.
Well, welcome.
Any questions for me?
No,
No?
no.
Thank you.
Like, we're good. How about you?
So we'll set up something that we can get that training done.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, whichever meeting works best for, I know your schedules are.
Wait, can we do it before December 31st?
One.
We can if you want to, I promise.
Everybody else has done things now.
Can't subject these guys to it, they can't walk that.
We can do it right now, I'm just.
Yeah. Start.
Just-
Let's do it a separate day from the meeting.
Yeah. Me too.
I'd say to do it a
Is it
separate day
different
from the meeting.
I
Maybe a
think
different
probably-
Tuesday or something, yeah.
Especially variance on, you know.
Yeah,
Maybe a different Tuesday.
tonight's a shorter meeting.
We have one where it's an hour, it's sometimes it's good, we used to do that a lot.
Wow.
I would do the trainings. Years ago. Sort of bang through it, but
I don't know how.
This is-
Yeah, we used to do, I remember you used to give some.
this is dense. But you don't want us to do that, I think you should do it at every day, yeah.
Right.
Are you saying tonight?
That way,
Okay, good, you sounded so bad.
dense. Floodplain stuff.
I think this is the first time I've heard floodplain mentioned since I've been on these boards.
No.
We've talked,
Not as a centerpiece.
yeah, that,
I don't-
exactly,
I
that's.
can't remember one, but I.
No, we've talked, yeah, well, a lot of it is mean high water mark and stuff like that we
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about, that's. Yeah. There we go.
Let's see, the other one. I guess I'm willing to stay as chairman if anybody wants me to do that.
Yes.
Not sure more than one there, but yeah, but just, I think.
Absolutely.
We need to
Sounds
start. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll do them.
thinking about that.
You didn't get any emails back from any of us, did you?
No.
We're like, you're
I
good.
wanna do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Do have a knee replacement coming up in January, but.
You'll be fine.
That's good.
We'll wheel in a screen for you, look at.
They'll have you on your feet in a few days.
I'm that timed it so that it'd be 3 weeks until the,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there you go, perfect.
You're on the bike the same day, it's fine.
Great.
um,
Yeah, right.
also, was it last Monday? We interviewed, John Robbins. Whom, Jason had, recommended to us and, I thought he would be a good person to come on.
Great.
And, that goes on to the town board, they'll be talking about that, I guess, this month's meeting. Before you guys take over. Jared was in on those, interview
As an alternate.
as an alternate. Got through that alternate for almost a year or so.
I know, right? We haven't had one for a while.
Well, Zoom has made a big difference on that.
Yeah, that helped.
Immensely.
Anybody else have anything else? Let's see, we have our minutes from last meeting.
I read through that. I didn't see anything. Did you see anything?
I sent back one
Yeah.
little thing, so it was not a,
I didn't notice.
your motion, we can accept those as.
I'll make a motion.
Distributed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
I motion.
Second.
All in favor?
I'm always the one that motions.